I know the tournament has the rule of only the 5 international players among the 18, but when you picked out your 11, was there a lot of that looking ahead because Atlanta was on the weekend? It didn't seem like it could have been your best 11.
What would be the best 11?
Alex could play, you could bring in...
Alex has a problem on his knee, and I think playing in 3 games in a week will be a big gamble, and we didn't want to take any risk with Alex.
Last time you guys came here, you had 2 early goals. You weren't pleased with that. Today you give up another early goal 2 minutes in. How do you explain that?
It's a frustration. It's a frustration. I think we make it really difficult for ourselves. We know it's a tough place to come, and when you give them the early goal, become more vulnerable, and we concede the goal too early, and then it was really difficult for us to get into the game. We created few situations, we had few chances, but conceding the first goal was really difficult for us. We did not find the resources to get back into the game.
Hey, Patrick. Wondering why you decided to take out Villa around the 60th minute. Was it to maybe rest him for Saturday's game? And also, part 2 of the question is, I wanted to get your impressions of Joe Scally.
I think David was feeling his hip a little bit, and again, with David, with any other players, we didn't want to take a risk, and that's why I take him off. Joe, I think Joe is the future of our football club. He's a really strong personality. He's got talent, and we have to work well with him in the next couple of years, because I believe that he's got the potential to be the right back of his football club in the future.
Patrick, as you continue to build this club, when will it have, or how far can you see it until it has enough domestic players, quality domestic players, for this competition?
I think it will take time. I think you look at the difference as well between the 2 teams. I think both teams had players who didn't play often, I will say it, but they look more sharp than us. And I think one of the reasons is that they're having the B team, and the B team allow those players to play every week. And Tommy, Jonathan, Kwame, Saad is quite really difficult for them because they didn't play so many games lately, and to play that kind of games at time of tempo, I think they struggle a little bit physically. And I think what is important for us is to, as a club, is to try to have this second team that will allow those young players to keep playing every week, that will allow them to develop.
Patrick, what's the frustration right now? Keep entering the 4th round of the Open Cup and you can't get out of it. What needs to change for the future for the club?
I think it is a frustration because this is a competition that allowed you to play in the Champions League, and you only have 5 games to play, and it is a frustration. But I think we need to understand that with the international rules, and we need to believe that having a B team that will allow some of the young players that we want to give games to play every week. But it is a difficult day for us because we wanted to do well in that competition.
Patrick, you just mentioned the lack of minutes for some of the players, but isn't part of that weakness of the club self-imposed on the choices you made?
Sorry?
When you mentioned that players like Jonathan Lewis don't get a lot of minutes, that's a decision that you made.
Yeah, of course, that's a decision I make. But Jonathan, we take him from the draft, and when you look at the people who are in front of him, I think it's difficult for him to play every week. Of course, this is my responsibility to find time for him, but it's really difficult when you don't have a second team that will allow him to play every week, because with my experience, you can training well every single day, but the reality is that you need games and you need proper game. And I think the difference as well, I think when you look at the Red Bulls and the number of players coming through the academy, you're not surprised because they have a challenge game every week that allow them to improve. And until we don't have that, it will be difficult for us to improve those young players we have in our squad, in our team.
Patrick, to that point, and it's maybe an unfair question to ask of you, but how soon can NYCFC get that second team so those guys can get the minutes they need?
I do understand you guys are quite really impatient, but you really shouldn't forget that the club is only 4 years old, and of course we are behind the Red Bulls because of the way they've been working the last couple of years, and we will do it. It's just a question of time. I think our priority now is to have a stadium, and like you know, when you have a stadium in one of the 5 boroughs, that has a cost as well. So I think we have to go step by step, and we know what we need to improve, and we will do it. Obviously, today is a difficult day, especially for those young players who played, but that's, they will learn from that game. We still believe that they have talent. We're going to keep working with them, and we're going to keep developing them, and it may going to take a little bit longer because of the lack of games. But, we have a small squad. Cedric was injured today, and that will allow somebody else to have a little bit more games.
I was just going to go off of for Cedric. How's it looking for him?
He felt his hamstring, and we need to wait until tomorrow, I think 48 hours, and he will do the exam, and then we're going to have a better idea.